all right, so obviously we can see the dominance of Wigan right now, right?
Yep.
So they've won the quadruple, first team for a long time to get 6 trophies back to back. They're just absolutely dominant is the word. My question is, or the question that's been bandied around is like, how long is this team going to be dominant for? Like, you think about like, some of the long-term signings that Wigan have made. Matt Peat, 7 years this year.
Yeah.
Bevan French, Jai Field, Junior Nsemba, all 6-year deals, As well as that, Matt Peat, 40-year-old, right? 40-year-old.
Yeah.
I think it was something I saw a stat that was like 60% of the team are under 24. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
One player is moving on this year. How long are they going to be dominant for, and what do other teams need to do to break this dominance?
Well, you've just said it, haven't you? With all the contracts and the extensions that they're putting people on 6-year deals, and there's a reason, because the players they've managed to capture are absolutely quality players. So I genuinely think this Wigan side is going to dominate for quite a number of years. And what do other sides need to do? Well, they need to make some bloody big signings, don't they? The model that Wigan's have had for a number of years, they've really invested in their youth and academy systems, haven't they? And it's paying rewards now. They're bringing new players into the squad who are just... Well, like Junior Nsemba, his box office, isn't it? First big season. If they keep doing that, and then they keep adding these brilliant players that they keep finding, like your Jai Fields and your Bevan French, I don't know how other clubs are going to compete with that in the minute. And I suppose other clubs have got to replicate what Wigan have done. St Helens did it for years, but yeah, the short answer is, I think Wigan are going to dominate for a large period now. Yeah,
and I think it's not just the playing group either. I mean, you look at the owner, billionaire owner. You know what I mean? So if we're saying we've got to replicate what Wigan are doing, we need to attract more billionaire owners to rugby league.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And how do you do that? Like, how do you do that? Chris Radlinski as well. He's also been pipped as like, a huge part of the success. Incredible at managing people and working like an elite culture within a team.
Yeah,
and is respected across the board.
He's like, I think he needs his own podcast. He's like Diary of a CEO Rugby League. How he's gone about his business with the Wigan club since it kind of all started. Well, it didn't. No, because Wigan have always been a big club, haven't they? But he's had such a massive impact on Wigan since he became part of the board there. Right,
so I'm not going to let you get away with just saying they've got to replicate what Wigan are doing.
Oh, right.
So imagine, Salford-esque. Take what we've got, all right, and how do we compete with that team, against that team?
St Helens will be back, won't they? Because Saints have got that foundation like Wigan have got, where they've got such an elite academy of players coming. I know they didn't quite hit the heights this year, but the Saints have got the money to spend on big signings if they need to. They've got the academy, like I said, they've got the elite academy. So Saints will be back there.
Right.
I think we'll see in the next couple of years, we'll see Saints competing again. Whether or not they can match this Wigan side it remains to be seen. I mean, you should be saying, well, Leeds Rhinos, they've got all the money, they've got the massive fan base. Their academy though feels like it's falling short a little bit.
Yeah, well,
no, it is. It's falling short. They've not brought the players through the system like Wigan and St Helens have over the last couple of years. So if you're looking at blueprint, I think that's the first place you've got to start. You've got to look at your academy.
Well, yeah, and you've also got to wonder, like, we talked about Chris Radlinski, and what about Gary Everington? Because he just seemed to, from the outside, and we don't know.
Negative culture.
Well, he seems to play games with people's contract. And you look at, like, Blake Austin, who was like one of the standout performers.
Yeah,
right?
he was a player that needed to build around.
Yeah, and he didn't know whether he was coming and going. From what was read in the media and that kind of thing, like, he didn't really know. And then end up, he just went, right, sorry, I'll go then. And you can't play those games. And you look at what Wigan have done, and I remember having a conversation in Wigan a couple of months ago, and this staunch Wigan fan said, look, they are tying people into long-term contracts, and that is like nailing your colours to the mast. So you can't be playing all these games and all this kind of stuff. So I think that is part of the problem with what's happening at Leeds right now. Hopefully Brad Arthur's going to stamp that out. He's a very, very experienced coach. We can see, if you've seen the trailer for the Spirit of the Rhino video that's coming, like, he's absolutely no nonsense and won't take any of that crap. So, although he has just signed Jake Connor, so I don't know what's happening there. So personally, I think if we could put an age on it, like how long is this Wigan side going to dominate for? Well, it could be 5 years, couldn't it?
Well, we know that the Wigan are going to be classed as the best side in the world for at least another 12 months because there's going to be no World Club Challenge because Penrith have bottled that, haven't they?
Yeah. They bottled it. Shit the pants. Well, on the flip side, Matty Peat is mega keen to play it. You say if it's happening, we're 100%, keen to play in that.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen though, is it?
No, it's not going to happen.
But, what a shame that is though. Honestly, if you look at Wigan and you look at Penrith Panthers, how good those two sides are at the minute.
Yeah.
We should be going back to Old Trafford and selling Old Trafford out. Like, why wouldn't fans want to watch that?
Well, they do want to watch it, don't they? But
fucking make it happen, man.
Here's another thing. When we're talking about attracting more money to the sport and stuff like that, this Vegas game could be huge, couldn't it?
Well, it will be, yeah.
Because you're going to go. Who knows who's going to be in that crowd watching the likes of Warrington play, and you know what? Bit more money. This could be spectacular throughout the world. So,
but just because that's happening doesn't mean we should be axing the World Club Challenge.
No, that's not.
No, it is. It's not going to happen.
Well, that's not. I know it's not going to happen. But that's not why it's been axed, is it? They just can't come to practical arrangements to make it happen.
Well, they should make it happen. Well, the World Club Challenge this year, Wigan and Penrith would be absolutely massive. And I don't know a rugby league fan in the UK who wouldn't go want to watch that. And we should be. Someone needs to make it happen, and don't just go for the Brick Community Stadium. Go for a big venue. Just go for it. And I genuinely think we could get a massive crowd for that fixture.
Yeah, well, I completely agree.